Hello there, friends. I would like to talk to the younger generation this time, but of course anybody is invited to watch this video. It is about socialism. Unfortunately, the young generation is presented with this theory as being positive since they are in school, going through high school, and especially in college. I want to dismantle some of the concepts that they think they have about socialism. I lived there for more than 30 years, so I would like to share from my experience. First of all, socialism wants everybody to be equal. So if we start from the situation where we are today, this is capitalism. They call it inequality, okay? Some people have more, some people have less, and they don't look at the reasons this happens. They don't look at the fact that the average line here, if I would draw an average here somewhere, that would be the average of all this. This average in time led to a much better society than any other place in the world. So all the capitalist countries have this average growing higher and higher and higher in time. Even though it might not grow as fast as we want, at least it doesn't drop like it does in non-capitalist countries. So the average life, quality of life for people in capitalism, any research, I invite you to go on Google, any research shows that life in capitalism for most of the people is much better than in any other type of society. So socialists ignore that. They look at the fact that there are inequalities. Why? Some people have more money than others because maybe they discovered something. They work harder. They were born with some talents. So of course they use them. They put them to use one way or another and make more than others. Others have less, not necessarily because of where they were born or the circumstances and so forth. I invite you to think back at examples and people that you know and people that you see on TV or read about in newspapers, in books and so forth. People that had to fight against insurmountable odds and they made it. I know people without legs, without hands, without impaired, and they still worked hard and made a very nice, decent living for them. So work hard, work hard, work hard, and eventually you will climb from here to here. What many people don't understand, especially young people don't understand, is the fact that most of those who have more income than others, it's not because of their natural talents that they were born with. It's not the genetics, it's the hard work. All the research shows this. More than 80% of the fortune or wealth that is created by people that have more than average is not due to genetic or circumstances. It's due to the hard work that those people put in. We know a lot of people, lots of examples. They say that even between like 50 to 80% of the people with extraordinary talents that were born with these talents, they let them go to waste. But a lot of people make it in life without having these extraordinary advantages just because they put in a lot of hard work. So for good reasons, most of the people that are doing better, they are doing it better because of hard work, because of fighting against their circumstances and so forth. Other people are dropping. Now, not everybody that drops under the average or lower than in comparison with others, not all of this go there because of circumstances out of their control. Oh, it's where they were born. Oh, they belong to a minority and they are oppressed and stuff like that. That might be a factor, and just like I said, people can overcome that factor. But mostly a lot of people stagnate because they don't want to go farther. They don't want to learn more. A lot of people don't even graduate high school. So how do you expect to compare with other people who go to college, or even without the college? They work hard, they come up with inventions, with new ideas, with extraordinary things that other people need and like. How do you compare those with people that don't graduate even a high school and they just want a regular job? You know, how can you have people move from here to higher ground regarding wealth if they decide to live their entire life on minimum wage? And then they demand the government to raise artificially this line. So I don't want to go there right now. I just want you to understand that this is a natural process, and it's not necessarily bad, and it's not necessarily the inequality that the socialists keep talking about. Okay, so this is the reality in capitalism. Okay, let's see what the socialists want. This is what they want. They want everybody to be at the same level. They don't want people to have more than others. Okay, this is what they call equality. This is, pardon my language, BS. Nature is not like this. Life is not like this. Nothing is like this. Life is not fair. Life is not fair not only because it doesn't treat you fair, but it's just because opportunities are different. It's just because the places of birth are different. And mostly it's because of the inherent qualities and abilities of people. Do you know that will is something that can be trained? I'm going to make a parenthesis and give you a very little short example. I have started for quite some time to take a cold shower each and every single morning. Do you think that's easy? No, it's not. But now I even just look forward to get that shower. So when I get in the cold water, the first moment it's shocking, of course, but then the adrenaline kicks in and everything. So my body got used with it, my brain got used with it. A lot of good things happened after that, and because of that, my health improved, my will improved. Now I go to the ocean, I go to a pool, and it's still cold outside. I go in the water just like that, and I feel good. I get used with the cold water right away. My son started to, touching the water with the feet, and it's cold and fussing and stuff like that, just like every regular person. That's when it hit me. Will is indeed trainable. So if you do something that gets you out of the comfort zone, and you do it with persistence, then it's easier to do that. It becomes easier and easier and easier. So that was a parenthesis. I encourage you to get yourself out of a comfort zone, and it'll become easier, I can promise you. So this is what the socialists want. Okay, now what happens after socialists take power? And I'm talking to you from experience. Okay, please believe me. What happens? What happens in socialism when somebody gets more and you have other people, other categories of people getting less? Oh my goodness gracious, this portion here, they call these people greedy. They point fingers to them, and they demand that these people compensate for what these people lost. Artificially, with no questions asked, no analysis conducted. These are people that needs to be blamed, that by definition, if you belong to this category, you are a bad person. You go against all the collective rules that probably nobody agreed on, but hey, they say, people here at the top, the leaders, they establish these rules. Because believe me, in socialism, these people, mark my words, I make them another parenthesis, Ocasio-Cortez will never live here. Never, ever. She will always live here. Take any example in the socialist and communist countries. I come from such a country, 30-something years. You take any country and analyze it. Communist, socialist leaders, they become the gods of the society. They never live within this means. Now, you might not have a good impression or idea about Napoleon if you learn about the French ruler. He became a king. He wanted to have an empire. He conquered most of the Europe back in the 1800s. Guess what? He was one of the very few leaders that lived at these conditions. When he went in war, generally speaking, he forced his generals to live like this, and a lot of them hated him. But that's a unique example, very rare in history. So, getting back to socialism and communism, this is where the leaders live. This is where, Bernie Sanders would live if we embrace socialism, and so forth. So they establish these rules, and they blame this category of people, and they demand that they compensate for these people. They push everything down, but they never ask why these people got higher, why these people got lower. Most of the time, in such a society, even in socialism, remember, now inequalities disappear, there's no more minorities being oppressed, and nothing like that. Oh, it's pure equality, right? And suddenly, something like this happens. And again, why? This is nature's tendency. Nature doesn't live like this. Nothing is constant and equal, and just look at any phenomenon, physics, chemistry, life around you, trees don't grow with branches equal size and so forth. So is life. So when this happens, they blame people, and they don't take into consideration the fact that maybe these people started to be a little bit more energetic. Maybe they don't work as much. Maybe they don't want to do their part and so forth. Maybe these people came up with some brilliant ideas. Maybe they have more energy. They are stronger than others, so they are able to perform more. So remember, in socialism, you either live a life boring like this, and guess what? You know what happens in time? This line here, it goes down and down and down, more and more, until the common denominator gets very low. Everybody lives in equal poverty. Why this happens? Because, folks, if you learn anything about capitalism and free market, you will understand that this is where you can get more. By putting more effort, by learning more, by pushing yourself more, you can get more. And there is tons of people out there that do that. This is why you have the skyscrapers and not just one-level homes. Socialism will build one-level homes in the beginning, and then you know what those homes, because there is no more extra production and there is no more incentive for people to put more effort and everything, everybody will start putting in less and less effort, because hey, I can get by with doing that, and this common denominator will drop. Romania, look at Venezuela. It was in the 50s one of the richest, the best countries in the world. When they discovered oil and started using it as a capitalist system, yes, some people made more money because they were involved in those corporations and so forth than others. But overall, the country did very well. Folks, would you be able to live and move from I don't know, $20,000 a year to $40,000 to $80,000 to over $100,000? You know, different people may have different income. To live with $10 a month. If you want that, adopt socialism, because again, no more capitalism. You keep calling it inequality. The socialists keep calling it inequality. The average is, the median value is high. You trim everything, you force it down here, and this forcing process keeps going and going and going until you will get to have to live with $5 to $10 a month. If you think you can do that, good luck with that. But don't force everybody into this BS. Okay? Maybe now you make decisions for yourself, but there will be a time when you will have kids and you start having moral responsibility for your kids. So let me put it this way, and I want to end this video. Think of a few years from now on, you're going to have kids, or if you have kids now and you embrace socialism, you are selfish, because you think of yourself only. Oh, I should have this and I should have that. What if your kids would be one of these guys here? What if they are hardworking? What if they have some talents? You condemn them to average. You force them to live this. And guess what? The future will push them even lower and lower and lower. And by the time you become a grandparent, or you already kicked the bucket, the people in your family that are left on this earth will suffer tremendously. So don't be selfish. Screw socialism. Teach yourself and teach your kids and everybody else in your family to exploit your abilities, to work hard, to improve yourself, be perseverant, and let everybody get as much as they can get through a society that encourages free market. Okay? So think twice about socialism before you embrace it.